What is happening, YouTube? This is Immortal Coil, your future minister of whiskey mysticism. Revolution is my name. It is Wednesday, the 16th of June, 2021. The time is 6:30 p.m. on the West Coast, and it is time to get savage, my friends. Want to thank you for sticking through all this. Been suffering some technical difficulties lately. What the fuck? Well, I am actually tethered to the internet through my cell phone, so occasionally it just doesn't have the thinking power to stay as savage as we need everything to be. Since I don't have tits, I actually am hoping to make some more money pretty fucking soon, and actually getting some no shit internet installed in my lair, my evil domicile. I want to thank you guys for joining me. We got Taylor M in the house saying, "Hail Immortal Coil." What's up, Taylor? And we have Bone. What is happening, Bone? Like to invite you guys to hold high whatever it is you're imbibing tonight. And here's to us, what's like us. Well, not that he needs it, but I thought I'd shout out my buddy Snowdub. I was on his stream about an hour or so ago, not as a guest star. I was just surfing in the comment section, just like all of you guys probably were. And he made this spectacular point about what's her name, Megan the Stallion. Put out this video not too long ago where the video seemed to be about an old white conservative senator who gets his mouth made into a pussy. I don't know what the song was about, because other than that, it was just her shaking her ass. So I don't know. So Snowdub was going out of his way to make the point that that sort of controversial style of rap and hip hop was not a new thing. And then his stream got abruptly cut off. Now it's tempting to say it was technical difficulties or something like that. Maybe he spilled his Jolly Juice all over his keyboard once again. I highly doubt that. But it is more tempting to say YouTube shenanigans. He was just talking about how it's okay for Megan the Stallion to go off about shaking her ass and showing a no shit pussy on YouTube. But the second he starts talking about former presidents or, you know, anything that the re crowd would re about, his shit gets shut down. I don't think that's cool. To quote Jimi Hendrix, I don't think that's cool. Oh, there he is right there, Snowdub, man. We were just fucking talking about your stream, how it just got mysteriously evaporated and canceled. I don't know what the fuck's going on, brother. I was flabbergasted. You might have even said it was I felt like the guy with the hand up my ass, you know? Here I am enjoying some quality entertainment from Snowdub Music and Entertainment. Best fucking Cotton Connection channel out there. Fellow trans fattian. And they just fucking shut it down. What the hell? Okay, he says it's back up. All right. So I guess we'll get to see I think most of it, I think the brunt of his message got out there, but go and check out the replay. Snowdub is a beautiful human being, and he makes a valid point, and they try to shut him up for it. What the fuck? Taylor N says it's YouTube being Nazi pussies. I agree. Bone calls shenanigans. Shenanigans indeed. Well, what the fuck, people? You know, I do have some shit to bitch about tonight. I'm glad that my stream seems to be behaving itself at the moment. Oh shit, we missed the booty break. And that's the best part of the show. What the fuck? Oh well, I'll go look at some ass later. Um, I do have some shit to complain about, of course. But, and this is a big but, I like to start off with something funny, something silly, if you will. We found this article from phys.org, a reputable news source, which states that a human brain and testes are found to have the highest number of common proteins. The team of researchers from the University of Aveiro and the University of Porto, both in Portugal, and the University of Birmingham in the UK, has found that for humans, the brain and testes have the highest number of common proteins. In their paper published in the journal Royal Society Open Biology, ouch, that sounds painful, the group describes their study of protein similarities between tissues. In this new effort, the researchers have noted that evidence from other studies have found some signs of similarities between testes and the human brain. Intrigued, they initiated a study that involved analyzing the proteins produced by different parts of the body and then comparing them to see the similarities. The researchers found the greatest similarities between the brain and the testicles, 13,442 of them. This finding suggests that the brains and testicles share the highest number of genes of any organ in the body. So, researchers have proven that brains are balls are brains. Congratulations, research. I think you have uncovered an unknown quantity that pretty much anyone's wife can tell you. Brains are balls and balls are brains. We got our brains on our balls in our mind all the time, don't we? Hell, most of us are holding our balls right now. I bet if you rewind this broadcast about 5 minutes, you'll probably hear us talking about booty. That's what we do. It's the drive to keep humanity going. We like to hunt things and we like to fuck things. That's what savages do. We hunt and we fuck. And we watch Star Wars too. The team focused on the shared protein, most more involved issue and communication. It's just this is not surprising considering that proteins from both organs consume high amounts of fuel. One to process thinking, the other to produce millions of sperm every day. It's fucking difficult work, people. Producing nut day in and day out. I can't tell you how hard it is. It gets really hard, especially in the morning. Yeah. Yeah. They also note that testes and nerve cells are both involved in moving material created inside of them to an outside environment. Sperm cells move fertilization factors and neurons move neurotransmitters. Both are a part of a process known as exocytosis. Additionally, as part of exocytosis, sperm allows parts of themselves to fuse with an egg. With neurons, exocytosis involves creating, I can't read that word because it's tiny. Neurites that allow for communication between cells. The researchers also took a step back from their work, noting that there may be a reason for the similarities between the proteins produced by the two organs. They note, for example, that prior research efforts have shown a link between brain disorders and sexual dysfunction. And some have even found a link between the quality of sperm produced and intelligence. They suggest more research is required to better understand the connections between the two organs, if there are any. And judging by Twitter lately, brain disorders and sexual dysfunction definitely go together. I have noticed that quite a bit. There are people who want to have balls that were born without them, and people with balls who prefer to not have them. I guess that's really none of my business, but if there is a scientific link, which Portugal and the UK have proven, then so be it. You know, that's not my tax dollars going into it, but I have to say that this bit of research is probably worth a little bit more than the Harvard studies that spend $2 billion and prove that guys like to see tits. Yeah. Oh yeah. So there you go, savages. We don't just review Star Wars shit on here. We go into the real studies, the cutting edge of the academic field, as it were. Right on. 11 minutes into the show, we got our brains and our balls off our minds. Our balls off our minds. Is that what it is? If you get your balls off your mind, is that like a mental tea bag? We don't know. We don't know these things. We just ask the questions. We don't have the answers here. Inquiring minds want to know. Well, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the Loki show. Have you? I heard the second episode just dropped. I haven't seen it yet. I just watched the first one. Um, and I have to say, the first episode, and honestly, first episodes of most Marvel shows, especially these Phase 4 shows, the first episodes are usually all right. But within that all rightness, there is some not all rightness involved. There were a couple of things that stood out to me that I was not particularly into. So first of all, we go off that scene in Infinity War where the Tesseract is dropped and Loki picks it up and he disappears. And then we find that the Time Variance Authority goes and picks up Loki and basically takes him. It's like Time Cop. It's not Jean-Claude Van Damme, but it's Time Cop. Not Van Damme arrests Loki and takes him to time jail. And they put a big brown finger in his face and say, "What the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. We're going to kill you." And then no, it's not Matthew McConaughey. I always want to say it's Matthew McConaughey. I always mix those fuckers up. Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson, who I cannot fucking stand. And I'm going to turn on the camera. You know why I can't stand Owen Wilson? Because he always looks like this. He goes, when he's not talking, he's doing that. Hey, I'm Owen Wilson. Perpetual duck face. I'm Owen Wilson. No, that was more Trump. This is Trump. This is Trump. This is Owen Wilson. Okay, so Owen Wilson is either drinking the world's largest straw or there is an invisible cock either in his mouth or about to be in his mouth. Can I say cock on TV? Bone thinks I can. Bone says cock. Rock on Bone. Hell yeah. Taylor's dying. And then Bone says he doesn't watch anything Disney Marvel anymore. Well, when you hear what I have to say, Bone, I can't say I blame you, sir. The ideas seem to be it seems to be to take shit that you grew up with and then to twerk it or tweak it or TikTok it into something that does not resemble where it comes from and tries to make it inclusive. And you can tell a lot of these TV shows, if they got their start in 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, shows of that era are all going to come out with the same sort of lack of formula, with the same sort of political talking points and the same misplaced inclusivity casts that make no fucking sense. And I'm even going to say the same thing with He-Man. You know, you got Kevin fucking Smith out there running his cock holster saying that, no, you know, this He-Man's not going to be all about Tila. You know, it's like T-Man and the masked hers, Hers of the universe. But that show, what it took the Koreans like 2 years to draw that show. So it means that it was being written and being developed 2018, 2019. So what do you think we're going to fucking see? I don't want to say that that's what's going to happen, but I think that that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Bone says He-Man. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's T-Man for Tila, right? Because and you know, love her or hate her, Anna the Star Wars girl actually had a pretty good video about this where she says based on what she's been able to piece together, it seems like Skeletor is going to defeat He-Man and take the Sword of Power. We know this because he has there's like a fucking toy coming out where Skeletor is like all He-Man'd up. He-Man's in fucking Skeletor's jail, and it's up to Tila to get together all the fuckers to save He-Man. You know. Shit. Snowdub said 20 channels all went live at the same time. Hey, I don't blame you guys. This is the most savage channel going live at the same time. I know Rook is live with the Fandom Collective, so go say hi to them. Fucking drop them a what up for me. They just hit 1,000 subs, so I think that they're about to be monetized or up for monetization, something like that. If they're not, just play their shit in the background while you're working or driving or sleeping or something. Help those guys out. They've helped so many tiny channels. They fucking retweet my shit every time I do something. Yeah. Taylor Ann says there sure is a lot of streams tonight. And with Kevin Smith, who the fuck knows? I don't even think Kevin Smith knows anything. But Kevin Smith did know enough to cast Mark Hamill as Skeletor. I don't doubt that Mark Hamill's going to be able to read and deliver his lines, but what the fuck are they going to make that guy say? You know, and anymore, Mark Hamill is a staunch defender of George Lucas Star Wars, but politically he's tending to side with weirdos. So, you know, I love my Luke Skywalker, but I don't know. I can't agree with everything that flies out of his mouth. Yeah. Snowdub again. It's prime time, hence why I usually stream late. Yeah. You know, I actually picked Wednesday night to stream because Tuesday night's the High Council. And for a while there, nobody could really go on at the same time. Now, the High Council's not exactly what it started off as. And without the High Council, I don't think a lot of us would have networked as well as we have. I know I've made a lot of good friends just fucking kicking around those chats, you know. I still go in and hang out at EVS sometimes, and I still, you know, I'll check out a Jeff, world-class bullshitters. But, you know, with all this fucking weirdo infighting that's been going on in the Fandom Menace, and I'm not going to name names. You guys have been paying attention. You know who these people are. I really say it kind of stinks of shit stirring from on high. And, you know, this is me putting on the savage spirituality hat. I really think thoughts and energy go somewhere. And the Fandom Menace has painted a big enough target on its back that some of these higher ups are going to start kicking back. And what do they want to see more than anything is the Fandom Menace discredited. And what's the best way to do that? Infighting. If we can get, you know, and we're not doing this, but because the people are here, I'm just going to start picking on us. If I can get, if somebody can say that Snowdub said this and I said that, and we're starting to like bullshit and turn our channel into he said, she said, instead of pointing the finger back at entertainment where it should be, with the writers and with the creatives and the casting and all the fucking bogus agenda. If I'm sitting here saying fuck Snowdub and Snowdub sitting here just saying fuck Immortal Coil, then we're doing their job for them. We're not making content about them anymore. They can go off and make Loki as gay or pansexual as they want to. And we're just sitting here talking about skulls and puppets, you know, doing their dirty work for them. I think that's bullshit, you know. So we've seen several iterations of um, various shows and various channels go through that recently. So if you're a fan of Menace and you're listening today, just think about that. Think about what the real enemy is, and is it worth it to, you know, pander to your own ego because a different channel said something you didn't like the sound of, you know? And maybe it's because I have a small channel, you know. I recently crossed 300 and I'm fucking grateful for every one of you because mine's not an easy channel to like. I mean, I make good shit, don't get me wrong, but I don't make shit near as often as channels who have thousands and thousands of subs, you know? It's kind of like a cult down here, the Savage cult, right? But you know, if the name Immortal Coil came out of anybody's mouth, even if it was bad shit, I'd say, well, at least they heard of me, right? It's that fucking Pirates of the Caribbean shit. That's probably why Amber Heard beat the fuck out of Johnny Depp, because he was actually making sense that time. You know? So yeah, Phantom Menace. Quit wasting video time just bitching about each other. Put the fucking creatives back under the magnifying glass, you know? That's my advice. Pretty much, says Taylor M. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, good work. Well, I appreciate that, buddy, but it's not my work. It's you guys. You guys are the ones coming back and giving me feedback, putting the thumbs up in and sharing with your buddies. Without you guys, I'm just another asshole fucking flapping his jack, you know. But I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So back to this Loki show. The first thing that I noticed watching episode 1 was that Loki takes a tesseract and he disappears to the Gobi Desert. And there's like 5 fucking yak herders or whatever the fuck is out there, permafrost carrot eaters, you know, people who have to step over frozen Siberian woolly mammoths in order to find material to build their house out of. And Loki lands and he goes and stands on top of this rock and he goes, "Attention, people, I am Loki and I am your god." And they look at him and they're like, "Inka chonka chink chonk chonk," because they don't speak English. So right away they're making Loki sound dumb. He's this god who expects people to not understand him no matter what the fuck he says. And then not Jean-Claude time cops show up, and this big fucking Herkin Bertha POC woman cracks him across the face, and he actually is like shot in a slow motion and like this ripple fucking thing. He's like, you know, what the fuck? You know that thing where people are like, and they do it to make that sound, but he was doing that in real life. He's like, right? They are completely cucking Loki. The first 5 minutes of that fucking show, the bad white man gets cracked across the face by a righteous POC and arrested and taken to time jail. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck? I don't know. You know, and so they go through and this is actually a Thor universe thing where the time variance authority, they talk about Mobius. He is a very overpowered entity in the in between reality places, and this is who Owen Wilson is playing. I'm sure we'll see Mobius's power as it goes on, but Loki's about to get killed, and then he gets rescued by Mobius, and off we go. Off we go to the races. And I'm just like, well, what the fuck is going on? I don't know. And I come across this Screen Rant article. Loki is an origin story for Renslayer before she becomes the comic character. Ooh, I'm not interested in that. Exclusive Gugu Mbatha Ra. I am probably not saying that right. Confirms to Screen Rant that Loki is also an origin story for Renslayer before she becomes the comics character. Renslayer. Okay. That is a name that I am not familiar with. It's based off of names. So we're gonna look this up. Let's say Marvel. Just in case. It's Mervel. It's Mervel when you can't type, people. Okay, Renslayer. Ravonna Renslayer. So right away they're race swapping her. All right. Because blonde chicks can't be in TV anymore. I'm gonna go view page. This better not be porn. Nuclear war with lunar colony. Okay, alternate versions. There's a divergent Earth, other Earth, blah, blah, blah. Princess Ravonna, so they've already fucked with her in Earth 8096. She's either blonde or redheaded. Anywhere else. Okay. I guess that's just the image. I don't get no associated articles. So if you guys know anything about Ravonna Renslayer, then we should add that to the comment section. Yeah, Disney's nutshell. Disney's trying to nut all over our fucking sensibilities. So this is her and Loki. I think she was the judge, if I'm not mistaken. Screen Rant can now exclusively confirm that Loki is an origin story for Ravonna Renslayer, predating her comic character identity. While the series may have only released one episode so far, as of the writing of this, Renslayer has already had an important role to play in how she decided to handle the deviant god of mischief for the TVA. Now it looks like the series is setting up a future arc for her character as well. In the comics, Ravonna Renslayer factors heavily into numerous Kang the Conqueror story arcs. There you go, Kang the Conqueror. Okay, so Kang the Conqueror was one of those three lizard guys that Loki was talking about. He actually conquers universes. And, originally from a kingdom in the 40th century that ran astray of Kang, the villain quickly fell in love with Ravonna. Ooh. Though at first she hated him for trying to take over her home, eventually she returned his feelings after Kang proved himself to have some decency and helped free her people from another villain. Being the only woman Kang loves, there are many tales of self-sacrifice and desperate attempts to save one another as Renslayer and Kang survive assassination attempts. I don't know why I got all wistful with this. It sounds better to read it that way, doesn't it, though? Battles with heroes, from the Avengers to the Fantastic Four, and even deal with their own murderous passion. But it should be like, murderous passion. On one occasion, in her fury, Renslayer even managed to kill Kang and take over his kingdom, resurrecting him only to murder him again out of her continued anger. I bet that's going to be the route Marvel is going to take with this. Okay, so we know Ravonna Renslayer is a POC. Kang is probably going to be an old white man, and she's going to kill him and resurrect him and kill him again. Hundreds of times over thousands of years to avenge slavery, right? During Screen Rant's recent interview with actor Gugu Mbatha Ra, she... I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at anybody's name. And I'm probably terribly mispronouncing this, but it just doesn't sound right coming out of my mouth, does it? Gugu Mbatha-Raw. She confirmed that Loki would be an origin story for Renslayer before she became the character known in the comics. Furthermore, Mbatha-Raw says that knowing the version in Loki was before Renslayer became the powerful force she is in the comics alleviated a lot of the pressure for her. Read her exact words in the subject below. I don't think I should do an impression of her because I don't know how she really sounds. So this is where I need like a lovely co-host. Nobody lovely wants to come on my channel with me. I'd probably let Taylor M read it, but he'd have to read it in a girly voice. What's your best girly voice, Taylor? Can you read this for me? I read a little bit about Renslayer in the comics, but initially the producers and Kate did let me know that this section that we're dealing with in the TVA is more of an origin story for her. In a way, that let me off the hook of having to know everything that comes next because we're starting pre-comics. That was kind of exciting as well, to be able to feel a sense of ownership over her. Okay. So it's okay for Gugu Mbatha-Raw to feel ownership over a female character. All right. And there she is. Okay. So that's basically what I wanted to know. She was the judge. And I think Kang is actually the face she's sitting under right there. Like Kang's kind of smelling her hair right now. Kang's smelling her hair and going like, oh, is that like is that herbal essences you're I'm just guessing she uses herbal essences. What I really want her to use is Soul Glow from Coming to America. The real Coming to America, the first one. You guys remember Soul Glow? Let's see if the commercial is in here. Soul Glow is like a magnificent. I don't trust Yahoo.com to deliver the search result to me. This is going to be worth it, you guys. If it ever fucking comes up. This is why I need to start a GoFuckMe so that I can get a actual internet connection so I can deliver you hilarious content like this. Hey, there's Savage Perspective. I'm live right now. Okay. Check this out. This is Soul Glow. No thanks. I don't know if I have the audio turned on for this. Hang on. I might have to do it. Oh, God damn it. It's going to be like that. Okay. Soul Glow's pretty funny. I can't show it for internet reasons, but go and fucking look it up. It is great. Taylor M says a very whiny voice for a girl. And he says Taylor does not have a girly voices. I know what you meant, Snowdub, but that's where the entertainment comes in. Snowdub Music and Entertainment, which you know, it's entertaining. As Nirvana says, "Here we come now, entertain us." It would be like the Bee Gees' voice. Yeah, that's actually what Soul Glow is like in Coming to America. It was that commercial that's in the background, and it's like hair activator, and that's what we see King the Conqueror. He's smelling the Soul Glow, and in Rayfield's hair. Gugu Mbatha-Raw. He's like, girl, I can smell the The shampoo. I want everybody who's smelling hair to just automatically be creepy. You guys remember Kevin Hart where he was making that joke about there's always that creepy guy who's catching the chick who's falling down the stairs, but he's like catching her by the tits. He's like, "Oh, damn girl, you almost fell. Lucky I was there though. Caught you right by the titties." So yeah, that's King the Conqueror. And then another thing that I thought was fucked up about the show. Right after this, Owen Wilson goes up to Rayfield and he says, here I am looking up to you again, and it feels like I should always do that. You know, the white man elevating the POC above himself in penance for crimes that were committed not by him, not probably by anyone he's related to, but someone at some point, sometime. Yeah. Gugu Mbatha-Raw is best known for her work on Apple TV's The Morning Show, season 3 of Netflix Black Mirror, and for her works in movies like 2017's Beauty and the Beast and 2020's Misbehavior. Loki, the series, is being helmed by director Kate Herron, with Tom Hiddleston back in the titular role. Tom Hiddleston's tits are definitely involved in this series. The 6-episode series is only airing on Disney Plus, if you're a jerk, with releases scheduled for the middle of the week on Wednesdays. I always thought it was Thursday for some reason, but maybe it's because I passed out early on Wednesday and woke up Thursday to watch it. Making Loki an original story like this gives the MCU a lot of freedom with Ravonna Renslayer and her potential relationship with King the Conqueror. And with the series technically taking place after Avengers Endgame, Loki could be doing a lot of heavy lifting, setting up Phase 4 of the MCU, especially if Kang does end up being the major big bad, as many suspect he will be. I don't know. I heard Galactus, but we'll see. Whether or not Renslayer's story will continue past Loki seems uncertain, but it will be interesting to see Mbatha-Raw take on the early version of the character, knowing what she eventually becomes in the comics. Mbatha-Raw. That's kind of a fun name to say, but it makes me want to say like Mumra from Thundercats. Mbatha-Raw. Mumra. I don't know. But I don't know. We've seen this happen a couple times in the various Marvel TV shows so far. We've seen that WandaVision was a story about Wanda Maximoff becoming the Scarlet Witch and about the birth of the White Vision. The White Vision for Marvel. What is the White Vision for Marvel? I guess we'll find out. And while it was about them, we also saw Monica Rambeau gain her powers through hex magic, chaos magic, whatever. And I actually thought that they were going to set her up to be Black Captain Marvel, which she was in the 70s in the fucking comic books. But I guess they have another name for her, which escapes me right now. But she has that costume where it's all white and has a black star on it. I'm sure somebody will know what that is. We got Tommy in the house. What is up, Tommy? The hardest working moderator in the Fandom Menace. Easily mod to 256 million YouTube channels. And he does not miss a single live stream. Except that one time, but we won't talk about that. Now, here's another thing, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. It's not going to be a YouTube video this time, but if I can find this. Aha. Now I just saw a video of this, and what was it? It was on Doomcock's fucking news broadcast. I forget what he's calling that now. Um, even though he is the future ruler of Earth and I am the future minister of whiskey mysticism, I can't say that I enjoy his news broadcast that much. I get what he's trying to do, though. There's too many stories to cover video by video throughout the week. That's part of why I have the Savage perspective, so that I can go through all the news and fucking touch on the shit that I want to comment on without having to make endless videos every day. Even though I do eventually want to make a video every day, but I still have to like eat and feed and clothe my kid. Um, I found out about this. Loki is confirmed to be our favorite word, guys, gender fluid. Tom Hiddleston calls Loki's gender fluidity a logical conclusion by Wesley LeBlanc. Oh, LeBlanc, sorry. By Wesley Manbun LeBlanc. June 8th, 2021. Marvel has confirmed that Loki is gender fluid in the MCU, bringing this version of the character closer to comic book iterations of the Norse god. Is he gender fluid in the comics, or does he just shapeshift into women sometimes? Only IGN.com knows. How come Dave looks like he has an anteater for a cock? Can you tell me that, FX? I mean, my anteater's on my face. Now, I will say this: I am a anteater motherfucker. I do both. My anteater's on my face, and my motherfucker is in my pants. So I think the people at Dave from FX need to go back to the drawing board. This news comes by way of Slash Film, which caught the revelation in a video posted on Twitter by the official Loki account. The video is par for the course of Marvel and Disney's Loki marketing, but eagle-eyed viewers have spotted Loki's sex as fluid in the first frame of the video, which you can view below. Is it in there? I want to see if there's a picture of it. Nah, because it wants me to play the video, and I don't think my internet's going to allow me to play the video. Jupiter Legacy on Netflix. I actually did watch that, Taylor. I'll actually touch on that here in a second after I'm done with Loki's gender fluid. He let a male horse bang him while he was shifted into a mare and got pregnant and gave birth to 8-legged magical horse he gifted to Odin. Okay. All right. That is one of the lesser known myths, unless you're talking about Dave. Yeah, if Dave's daddy fucked an anteater, is that what you're talking about, Tommy? As you see in the tweet above, maybe I just need to go to Slash Film instead of reading what fucking IGN has to say about it. You know, and I'm always finding these second generation articles anyway. Go back to the horse's mouth. We have low-key teasers. Oh, that's funny. Hoy Tran Bui. Okay. We got both trailers. Is there an image? Is there an image? Well, goddamn, people, I just can't find the image. Okay, but there's like a file open and it says gender and instead of male or female, it says fluid. And the idea is that because Loki shapeshifts into women sometimes, that he has gender fluidity. And I bet they're going to cast a powerful woman to be a female Loki, and she's going to have her own adventures at some point because Loki's going to realize that it's better being a woman. Except, you know, Loki will show up at the job interview, and he will get the interview for the pay that SJW say men get paid more for. And then he will shapeshift into a woman to actually do the work, you know. And it's funny that the wage gap is thumped so hard in white collar jobs, but you get into blue collar work and women don't want any part of that. They don't want to be garbage people. They don't want to uh, crawl in the holes and, dig out fucking dirty shit that's grimy and gross and hurts the body. They want the cushy jobs, right? Yeah. So yeah. The other thing I don't really like about this Loki thing is Owen Wilson in his role as Mobius. He looks like Alex Trebek. Mobius does have a mustache and he does wear a suit. And the Time Variance Authority in the comics is 70s retro tech in appearance. But I don't think I ever expected the God of Mischief to be sharing a scene with the host of Jeopardy. I got to admit, I always admired Alex Trebek for his ability to pronounce foreign words. And I know he probably stood there with cards in front of a mirror pronouncing the most ridiculous things for hours on end so it can just roll off his fucking tongue like he was born there. I don't think Owen Wilson can do that because he'd have to close his mouth. See, even in this fucking picture, what did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys? When Owen Wilson's not talking, he's doing this. He's doing this. Even in the picture. He's not talking. He's in a picture. He's doing this. All right, Owen Wilson. I don't like you, but you do make more money than me. I have this problem with quite a few people, actually. I don't like Owen Wilson for that reason. I don't like Nicolas Cage at all. I don't think he's a good actor. The only movie that he was really any good in was the one where he dies in Las Vegas. I feel the same way about Travolta. He did all right in Pulp Fiction, but again, he dies on the toilet in Pulp Fiction. That's his best performance, dying on the toilet. I'm not super big on Tom Cruise. I do like Top Gun. I'll give him that. Footloose was kind of weird. Or not Footloose. It wasn't Footloose. It was that fucking sliding across the floor in his underwear, whatever movie that was. I thought that movie was weird because he buys a hooker or something, and but it was the 80s. People didn't know what to do with hookers in the 80s, not unless they were high on cocaine. Yeah. Who's the other one? Okay. Now this one was hard for me because Robert Downey Jr. I could not fucking stand for years. I actually did not watch Iron Man for at least 10 fucking years because I could not stand Robert Downey Jr. And I was like, he's an arrogant prick. He's a pretty boy, fucking player, bullshit drug addict, blah, blah, blah. And people kept on saying, well, yeah, but who the fuck is Tony Stark? And I was like, he's what I call not Batman. And they're like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, he's not Batman. Tony Stark is not Batman. And he goes, well, why not? Because Tony Stark is a fucking prick, piece of shit. Oh, I see what you're saying. And they're like, yeah. So they got Robert Downey Jr. to play not Batman. And I said, okay, maybe I can suspend my dislike of this person long enough. And sure as shit, Robert Downey Jr. is a perfect Tony fucking Stark. So I will give one side to 1 point to the other team for that. Tommy says, come on. A lot of these old mythologies have some crazy shit in them. Taylor says, agreed. It's interesting how much crazy in mythologies. Oh yeah. Dude, I've been studying Greek mythology quite a bit recently. And oftentimes in Greek mythology, Zeus will fuck somebody and then he'll go and fuck somebody else and he'll wait until they fuck or their grandchildren fuck and then he'll go and fuck one of the grandchildren or both grandchildren. So every time he waits a generation to go and fuck a grandchild of his, and that's how we get people like Hercules or what's his fucking nuts? Achilles. He's like the great grandson of Zeus and a goddess. And it even happens in the Bible. If you're reading the Bible and an angel shows up, it means either somebody's gonna die or someone's gonna get pregnant. That's what the angels of the Lord do. Yeah. Okay, it says Tony Stark was a self-destructive asshole in the comics. Oh, alcoholic, not an asshole. I guess he kind of is an asshole, but Okay, and you're making my point for me here, Tommy. He says Robert Downey Jr. is great in Natural Born Killers because he gets killed by Woody Harrelson. Yes. And actually before Tony Stark, that was also my favorite movie of Robert Downey Jr. precisely because he gets killed by Woody Harrelson. And if you get killed by anybody from Cheers in a movie, yeah. But I would actually say Mickey from Natural Born Killers killed Woody from Cheers because that's actually the birth of Woody Harrelson's actual career. Right? Okay. So real quick, Taylor M said I think you would like Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. Yeah, I actually watched that entire season. And I started reading the comic book a little bit. The comic varies, of course, from what we saw on Netflix, but not too much, just several tweaks, and not like the SJW tweaks like we're kind of used to. It was just more in a presentation of the origin story. So the origin story, like how they got their powers, I found to be a more compelling story than the Utopian's daughter being a hoe bag, or his son being a whiny Kylo Ren fucking weirdo. But it did handle that question of morality. It took that sort of Spider-Man idea, great power, great responsibility, and took it to the next level where okay, back in the 30s, people were just robbing banks and twisting their mustaches and but now criminals have no compunction about killing. So are we gonna let them kill whoever the fuck they want and we're gonna hold on to our moral code because it's moral to do so? Or are we gonna dispense justice in the same sort of manner that the criminals are acting out in? And then that also begs the question, is it really sane to use the same sort of thinking to solve a problem as which created it? My savage spiritual folks. Um, can you do that? And even like in order to stop a force, should you use that same equal force? Like, best way to explain it, Hitler killed millions of people. Through his actions, millions of people died. And the only way to stop him was to also kill millions of people. So is it is it ethical to use the same type of force in order to stop someone else using that force? You know, I think everybody who believes in the Second Amendment has asked themselves that at some point. Would I use my right to kill somebody if I had to? If you're coming for me and my family, I sure fucking would. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go out and, you know, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. But sometimes when no one else is going to do what needs to be done, a real fucking man has to step up and do it. And I'm saying man in a general sense. Women can do that too. Whatever. You know, when the time is right and that sort of force is necessary, you'll know. And if you're the one that realizes that and you're in a position to do it, well, you'll know that too. You know? But Jupiter's Legacy, I thought it was interesting. I guess I could see why it didn't hold a lot of people's interest, though, because I don't feel like I'm the typical superhero consumer. And because of what we do for a living in the Fandom Menace, we kind of have a more open mind, even if we're in a critical mindset, to at least explore the topic that we're hopefully we explore the topic that we're yakking about. But that definitely sets us apart from John Q. Public, who you know, they just worked all day and they want to lay back and watch something stupid, you know. So yeah, I enjoyed it. Out of a 10, I probably would give it a 6 maybe. Parts of it were very intriguing and parts of it were just kind of like, yeah, can we get back to the magical island of power, please? That's basically what it was for me. I'm like, okay, yeah, their kids are jerks. What about the magical, insane, schizophrenic power island in the sky? Yeah. Okay. So, chugging right along, a chug. We saw this, but I actually had a different article up at first. But basically, Raiders of the Lost Ark turned 40. Okay, the first movie came out in 1981 in the summertime. Uh, Harrison Ford was only famous at that point for Han Solo, which if Han Solo was all he ever did, fucking Harrison Ford would have lived on forever. But he did that. I think I don't know if he did Blade Runner yet. He might have, or it might have been after this. But Indiana Jones was the next thing that cemented him as a no shit movie star. Raiders of the Lost Ark, of course, had all those amazing moments. My favorite Raiders of the Lost Ark moment. Well, you got to go with the Nazi's face getting melted off. If you're a real Nazi, you deserve to have your face melted off. And I'm not saying a Twitter Nazi or you think Donald Trump is a Nazi. Not those Nazis. I'm talking about like Jew burning, book burning, goose stepping, kidnap Poles and gypsies and shove them in a train Nazis. Those Nazis deserve to have their faces melted off. Absolutely. My favorite scene aside from that is probably when the sword guy, he jumps out and he's going like in front of Indiana Jones and he just pulls out his gun and shoots him. I don't know that you could do that anymore. I don't think you're allowed to pull out guns and shoot crazy Arab sword fighters anymore. You just can't do that. That's the kind of shit you could get away with in the 80s. Kind of like in The Last Crusade. I don't think that you could kick a guy into a propeller anymore and get away with that. You could in the 80s, though. God bless you, George Lucas, for giving us guns and propellers as violent weapons. Um, and then the boulder, right? Indiana Jones is running away from a boulder after he picks up the golden idol. And Snowdub, if you're still listening, do you remember Muppet Babies? There was a Kermit the Frog as a baby running away from that same boulder. I remember that very vividly in my Muppet Baby mind. But yeah, so we got so much. Uh, Indiana Jones spurned. I don't want to say spurned. Produced, spurred on. I don't know. Five movies so far. Three and a half of them were pretty good. There's that old saying that Indiana Jones was only really good in the odd numbered movies. You know, Raiders was excellent, a classic. The Last Crusade was excellent, a fucking classic. The Temple of Doom, I found kitschy and formulaic. It was kind of corny. But it was a lot better than Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And I'm saying this as an avatar of a Crystal Skull. I did not enjoy that movie. I'm a Crystal Skull, and it did not represent me well. I did not see myself represented on screen in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Re. How dare they? You know? I'm a Crystal Skull watching Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and I probably feel like black people did when they saw Dumbo, right? Is that what they're trying to tell you? I don't even think Dumbo was that bad. I think it was probably worse. There was some like Looney Tunes cartoons back in the 40s where at the very end of the cartoon it turned into blackface, where like Bugs Bunny was black and had like the big fucking lips and all that shit. It was probably like that. That's how I felt watching Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. The crystal skull inside my head felt like I was watching the Bugs Bunny with the blackface. So we won't talk about that. We won't talk about the safety of a lead refrigerator in an atomic test. We won't talk about that. We won't talk about Indiana Jones watch a flying saucer go away. We won't talk about that. That never happened. And we're not going to talk about Shia LaBeouf. We won't talk about him either. I don't know. I never really liked the guy. There's something about Shia LaBeouf that I just didn't really like. I didn't really enjoy the Transformers movies. I'm sorry. They didn't yank my crank. Megan Fox was good to look at, but I don't have to watch a movie to see Megan Fox. I can just go to Google and type Megan Fox, you know? I mean, it's pretty fucking simple. You just do this and you go Megan Fox, right? You go to images. You know, there she is. There's Megan Fox. You can even put in a Megan Fox sexy. There you go. There's sexy Megan Fox. Right? So I don't need to watch Transformers. I could look at any one of these. I want to look at this one because I want to see what her, her tattoo says. What does that say? If I let it render. This reminds me of using the internet in the 90s. You remember when you used to like click on a picture and it took for fucking ever? Okay. If we zoom in really closely here next to the side boob, it says like, share, and subscribe Immortal Coil's channel. Keep on slaying and keep being savage. Thanks, Megan. Thanks. I always knew that you were a savage, just like the rest of us. Okay. Indiana Jones, James Mangold responds to backlash. So this is basically what we saw at the start of the week. I think this shit started on Sunday. Uh and I'm not going to read this fucker's article cuz I really don't give a shit about the guys who you know, write these things. What I care about is the actual fucking the thing. So Matthew Kadish, is it Kadish or Kadish? Right? If it rhymes with radish and it's Matthew Kadish, uh I'm thinking it's Kadish though. So I'm gonna say Kadish. Um and right away, so like look at this dude's avatar. It kind of looks like a soy avatar. So anybody reading this is gonna see that and be like, they're gonna have a reaction to it. And he goes, to anyone thinking Indiana Jones 5 might be good, just let me point out number one, Steven Spielberg is not directing. Number two, Kathleen Kennedy is producing. Number three, Harrison Ford is 78 years old. And number four, it's written by Jonathan Kasdan, who wrote Solo. And then he puts Timberlake making a face. He's wearing a suit, but I'm pretty sure his dick is in a box. Okay. So Matthew Kadish is just running his fucking mouth on Twitter, as we all do. And then lo and behold, fucking Mangold responds to him. Mangold goes, thanks, Matt. Number one, keep making the world a better place, crapping on things in the first week of production from your basement. Number two, never seen a script by John. Nothing against him, just reality. Butterworths and I started from a blank page. Number three, 1 through 3 are hugely talented and all at my side. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a slightly different, perhaps controversial perspective on this. And I have to say, a lot of this is actually fueled by my love of Logan, which, if you can't tell, I am a huge Wolverine fan. Yeah. Now, that doesn't give James Mangold a free fucking pass in my book, but I can't really disagree with the points that he's making if you take out the fucking emotional reaction. Right? So keep making the world a better place, crapping on things from your basement. That's tacky. That's not a real good thing to say to people who are just speculating on the internet. So yeah, that's bad. Mangold, that was bad. Stop that. But number two, I've never seen a script by Jonathan Kasdan. So what that tells me is Jonathan Kasdan was not writing Indiana Jones. Now his dad, Lawrence Kasdan, helped write Raiders of the Lost Ark. He also helped write some of the Star Wars shit. So, I guess I could see where those wires would get crossed. But if Jonathan Kasdan's not writing the fucker, saying that he's not writing it is not incorrect. He says Butterworths and Mangold are starting from scratch, from a blank page. Right? So he hasn't really written much. He hasn't written anything. And I can disagree. I can agree to disagree with 1 through 3, right? So Steven Spielberg is not directing. I still respect the man for what he's done. Don't love everything he's done, but I can still respect him. Kathleen Kennedy, she can go kick rocks. She's basically she's been grounded from Star Wars, which I'm very happy about. I know she's still kind of doing shit in Hollywood, but at least she's grounded from Star Wars. Harrison Ford, yeah, he's 78. I can't expect anything out of him that I wouldn't expect out of any other 78-year-old. But the man is a fucking powerhouse of talent. The only thing I like better than Harrison Ford is Mark Hamill's impression of Harrison Ford, which is amazing. But this fucking thing continues. Uh, People are chiming in. Axeliando Alexander, don't think about it, James. Keep doing your work. There are more people excited about it, I'm sure. Mangold says, thanks, Axe. I don't mind people griping and procrastinating, but on my watch, false info, ageism, and snark from so called journalists is going to be confronted directly and forcefully. In my opinion, these clickbaiters like to dish it out, but like night crawlers can't stand the night. Okay. So again, people want to get bent out of shape about it because of the way he's saying it, but think about what he's actually saying. He's saying people are going out there, and especially YouTube creators, they're putting out their slant, and Mangold's estimation, he's saying that they're doing it for clickbait reasons, right? Like, this is bullshit, that's bullshit, come watch my video. Okay. Now, again, love him or hate him, Jeremy Griggs has pointed out that, yeah, everything YouTube creators do is clickbait. We want people to watch our videos, and we want people to talk about us. And honestly, James Mangold, the worst thing that you did was actually respond to this Matthew Kadish guy, which I've learned is in the Salty Nerd podcast. And I don't know if I've caught the Salty Nerd podcast, but I've seen Salty Nerd around in chats and shit. So I'm sure that they're doing their best to create the content that they do, the best that they know how. I'm not sub to their channel, and I don't have any strong impressions of them other than seeing them around in chats. But just by saying their fucking names and retweeting them, so many more people are going to look at their channel than ever would have. They're probably like thousands of subs now and monetized just because you said you didn't like them, you know? And again, I have 300 hardcore devoted savages behind me, but if Mangold said Immortal Coil at some point, people would come and sub to me just because he said it, you know? And look, I love Logan. That's like in my top 5 movies ever. I think if you go on my video feed, out of the last 10 videos I made, there's probably at least 3 of them that mention Logan in some capacity. But that doesn't mean I'm going to suck James Mangold's dick, you know, any more than I'd suck Snowdub's dick or fucking Griggs's dick. If you do what you do and I like it, then I like it. And if we're cool, then we're cool. You know, I have friends that other friends can't fucking stand, but I'm friends with them both for different reasons. And I don't need everybody I like to like each other just for me to like them and be cool with people. But part of what people like about me is that, well, I don't know. You like me if you like me. I am who I am. I say shit like I say it. It is what it is. So, James Mangold, I love Logan. I have faith in your ability to tell a good Indiana Jones story if you're able to avoid Hollywood trappings, you know. And even if we examine Logan, it is a phenomenal story. He really studied the character of the Wolverine, and he brought it home. He knocked it out of the park. But there's still a couple of scenes where you could see his political beliefs, and particularly that scene where Wolverine's driving and he has the prom kids in the back of his limo and they're going, USA, USA. You know, that's saying something without saying something. but it wasn't a dominant theme in the movie. So a passing scene like that, yeah, I could forgive. Um, the other thing I didn't like about Logan is okay, this is a blooper in my mind. Logan is passed out in his limo, and as the movie describes them, uh, a group of cholos come to steal his rims. So Logan wakes up and they fire buckshot into Logan, right? Out of a shotgun. Now, if you guys have shot a shotgun, you know that buckshot are they're round steel balls. Okay. If you picture like for people who don't know, if you picture a BB, but imagine a BB maybe like 3 or 4 times the diameter of a BB, you have an idea of what buckshot looks like. So they take like whatever 50 of those and cram them into a small shotgun tube, and when you go bang, when you push the bang button, all that shit goes spraying. So Logan gets shot with that, and after he kills the Mexicans, he goes to a sink and he's shitting out brass, like 9mm brass, not even like bullets, but brass. He's supposed to have been shot by a shotgun, but he's shitting out brass into a sink. Bad, 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 James Mangold. That's a blooper, but it is what it is. So he goes back and forth. Now, the thing that I think is funny, cosmicbooknews.com, is actual Fandom Menace channels were chiming in. I know Nerdrotic chimed in. I know fucking Mecha Random 42 chimed in. I know Black Angus Reviews chimed in, and even though he's not on that same level of fame, I gotta give it to Black Angus. He discovered so much good talent and put them forth on YouTube. You like Drunk 3PO? He came from Black Angus Reviews. You like Snowdub? Fucking Black Angus found him. You like the Fandom Collective? Rookie Critic? Black Angus. Like me? Black Angus. Right? Now, love him or hate him. Facts are facts. All these people are chiming in on this fucking Matthew Kadish thread as soon as it started blowing up. Cosmic Book News is not going to show those because if you show the Fandom Menace in your news article, that's tantamount to supporting us or giving us what would you say, press? I hear a fucking ice cream truck. I'm sorry if you guys hear an ice cream truck. I'm not gonna go away and buy ice cream, but I hear one. Um, but I even think some of Mangold's responses were at Fandom Menacers. It just didn't get reported. But so here's Salty News chiming in. He goes, "We don't have basements. We have Batman and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's kick ass. Batman, jar of corks, blah blah blah." So the big takeaway from this for me at least, is that Mangold came off like a dick, but I can't disagree with the points he made. He just made them in a fucking dick ass way. Now, a lot of people are quick to say, well, Ryan Johnson did this and blah, blah, blah. Ryan Johnson, the difference between Ryan Johnson and James Mangold is that Ryan Johnson put out a movie and people said, I don't like your movie because plot points and because Luke wouldn't do that and because Leia can't survive space even if she's a Jedi. And Ryan Johnson went like, yeah, you don't like it? You're a fucking racist. Yeah, you basement dwelling man baby, blah, blah, blah. The difference here is that James Mangold says, you're speculating about shit that hasn't happened. I haven't written a script. We haven't shot anything. And you're coming out and doing that. Now, he did toss out the basement thing, and the guy showed a picture of his basement. So, yeah, James Mangold wasn't nice about that. Because at this point, they're like digging into their heels. But can you disagree with what he said? Can you disagree with the fact that the guy said there's nothing to talk about yet because it hasn't been made? I don't think so. I don't like the way he said it, but I can't disagree with what he said. So that's what I think. Let's see what the chat said, because I've been going off about this for a minute. So he says Taylor says man gulp, or sorry, Tommy says man gulp should change his man pawn. Probably so. Actually, he should take some Midol before he goes online. Matter of fact, Twitter is the most fucked up place of the internet. You shouldn't ever go on Twitter while you're in the process of creating something, because people, no matter what you do, if you try to please people, they're going to shit on you for pleasing people. If you try to do your own thing, they're going to shit on you for doing your own thing. You can't let Twitter be your litmus test for actual public opinion. People who go on Twitter are weirdos. Look at me. I have a crystal skull as an avatar. Am I a normal person? I don't know. I think maybe my girlfriend and my daughter think I am. Or not. They don't even think I'm normal. That's probably why they love me. So yeah, take your Midol and change your man pawn before Twittering. Taylor says KK should have got female project movies or series, but not Lucasfilm. That was a huge mistake. I agree. Kathleen Kennedy, and she pulled a Palpatine, if you think about it. KK was Darth Sidious. She's sitting there buttering George's bread, telling him all the shit he wants to hear. I don't think they got like sexual or anything like that. I actually think George Lucas, he's not perfect, but I figure that he's a moral man and he wanted to be married and have babies and all that kind of shit. Kathleen Kennedy wouldn't have seduced him, but she could have told him what he wanted to hear so that he would appoint her the Senate, basically. And she's like, okay, if I just say the shit to his face and they sell the company and I'm in this position, then I can do whatever I want. And I will be so smart and I'll be such a genius. Oh my God, so many people are going to love me. I'm Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know about you. I need a drink after that. Cray, KK. Tommy comes back and he says, if he has something good, the best he can do is prove everyone wrong. But he took the same road as Johnson, Waititi, and so many others. Yeah, that's where I will agree with you. The way he said it was fucked up. But I can't disagree with what he said, you know? And I'm just thinking he's on his fucking man period. You know, he's doing that fucking Sagittarius thing. He's getting all butt hurt. Don't go on Twitter when your butt hurts, people. If your butt's hurting because of Twitter, turn off your phone. Your smartphone is a device that's supposed to make your life simpler. And if it's hurting your head, just turn your phone off and go outside. Go take a walk. Go play with a puppy. Look in the smiling face of your child. Take your loved one to bed. Imbibe your favorite beverage. Go eat a candy bar. Go ride a bike. Anything. Just turn off your fucking phone and stop thinking about Twitter. Taylor M says Logan, 310, Yuma, and Ford versus Ferrari are his favorite Mangold movies. I actually really enjoyed Walk the Line too. And it's funny, the closing song in Logan is When the Man Comes Around. And it's funny, Johnny Cash wrote that in his Christian phase, of course. But when you think about that song and think about a lone gunslinger or somebody like Logan, who's just like a brutal killing machine that can't stay too long in one place because the people he cares about ends up dying, that song is fucking awesome. Yeah. Tommy is... Did you hear the ice cream man, Tommy? Should I play David Lee Roth and Van Halen right now? Guaranteed to satisfy. That's one of those extended intros or outros where David Lee Roth can't exactly like end the song. So he's like, guaranteed. And he does that until he can't breathe anymore. He's. The only person who might be able to he better than David Lee Roth is Michael Jackson. So he's like, he to satisfy. That's right. If you're in bed with your wife tonight, tell her that all you want for her is to be satisfied. She will love you for it. Trust me, I know. That's right. Get savage with some fucking ice cream. You go outside, you tell that fucking ice cream man that you're a tax-paying American and you want some damn, what, like a Mario Pop? You want your Choco Taco? You know, you want your Klondike bar, right? You want your Twix fucking thing. Coil is not normal. What? I know. I ain't normal. I'm a savage, just like everybody. Just like everybody I love in life. Savages. There he goes. Walk the Line is a favorite too. Well, I appreciate you guys. Lift it high, whatever it is you are imbibing, because life is beautiful. You know what's not beautiful is all these fucking like ads. I'm sitting here on the next article trying to clean it up because like the only things I keep on finding are just more commercials. Gonna have to reset everything just to fucking share the screen. I have this one ad that won't even go away. All right, I'm just gonna refresh this fucker. It's the only way it seems to want to do. Silence is killing, isn't it? I like talking this quietly because I want to say, only the penitent man will pass. Dying Sean Connery, only the penitent man will pass. There we go. Hasbro reveals future figures for Star Wars, the Black Series. These future figures were first reported by Mike Zero. Not really. I just think that's funny. It was reported by Tyler Roberts. During the Star Wars live stream event, Hasbro ended the stream with a new lineup of Pipeline, the Black Series figure reveals. Pipeline reveals are basically a list of figures that Hasbro is confirming are in the works. Kill the first ad that pops up. I see a second one trying. They do not have any prototypes or 3D renderings but are letting collectors know. This is terrible writing, Tyler Roberts. What the fuck does that even mean? They do not have any prototypes or 3D renderings but are letting collectors know who is coming in the future. This time, 6 Star Wars, the Black Series, were revealed, with figures coming from Rogue One, Return of the Jedi, and The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian is the biggest presence in the reveal, with the confirmation of some long overdue figures that made their appearances in Season 2. The list of confirmed figures are Rogue One, Jedi Patrol Stormtrooper, Return of the Jedi, Bib Fortuna, not the fat one from Mandalorian, the real one from Return of the Jedi. The Mandalorian, Migs Mayfield in Tank Trooper disguise. The Mandalorian, Fennec Shand, who we're seeing in the Bad Batch as well. Mandalorian, Nomad Boba Fett, which is pretty sweet if you're a Boba Fett fan. And then the Mandalorian, Cobb Vanth, who stole Boba Fett's armor. Now, I'm going to blow this up because the reason that I think this is so cool is that I want a Bill Burr action figure. I think it's awesome that he's in Star Wars, but Bill Burr is probably he's up there in the top 5 living comics right now. And I would not hesitate to say that. He is definitely, of all the comics out there, he's the one that I check in with the most. You know, he has that Monday morning, fucking Thursday, Friday evening, just checking in on you. I fucking love that guy. And I want a Bill Burr action figure. I don't even give a shit that it's Star Wars. I just want a Bill Burr action figure, you know? Um, I think every kid I think every kid needs a Bill Burr action figure to cuddle up with at night. Um, if I were Bill Burr, I would buy an action figure of himself and give it to his kid to play with, and I would buy an action figure of himself to give his wife, the lovely Nia, to play with when he's not there. You know, and then I'm sure he would agree with me. I would say Nia's action figure, you know, when she's being nice and sweet, she could talk to Bill Burr himself. And when she has something ugly to say, she can try it out on action figure Bill Burr first. And then if he responds to it favorably, she can take it to actual Bill Burr. Now I'm just being facetious, of course, but a Bill Burr action figure, how fucking sweet would that be? If I worked a desk job, which I haven't in years, but if I worked one, I would have a Bill Burr action figure at my desk. I used to work on the phone, and trust me, there are many, many times that I put the mute button on and told the customer what I really thought of them. And I would just, if I had Bill Burr there to stare into his eyes while I'm talking to this idiot on the other end of my phone, um, I know that the Bill Burr action figure would empathize with me because we're the same type of people, you know. I'm a intelligent, emotionally complex, thoughtful, philosophical individual, and he is a uh, ginger with a head made out of plastic. Exactly. Bill Burr action figure. Shit. I'd actually you know what I would do? The most popular video on my Immortal Coil channel is not, it's not the Savage perspective, it's not Savage spirituality, it's not any of the live streams I've done, it's not any of the insightful critique I've offered over the years. My most famous, the video that does the best on my channel is this Dana Carvey video that I did where I took my girlfriend's Beatles dolls. She has she has 12-inch collectibles of John Lennon and Paul McCartney from Yellow Submarine. And Dana Carvey, he did a special called 60 White Male, something like that. And his closing act, his closing bit was this thing where Paul McCartney's on Earth and he's talking to John Lennon, who's in heaven, about doing a song with Kanye West. And the joke is that because John's been in heaven since 1980, he doesn't understand how the fucking world works anymore, you know, because it's been 40 years. So, like, he doesn't know about Facebook. He doesn't know about Kim Kardashian. He doesn't know about fucking smartphones, any of that shit. So it's just funny. And Dana Carvey does the best Paul McCartney I've ever heard, aside from Sir Paul himself. His John could use a little work, but fucking Paul is right on. So go check out that video on my channel. If you type in a Dana Carvey John Lennon, it'll pop right up, and then you'll see my video. It has like thousands of viewers or views. You know, it's been thousands of times, and people from all over the world comment on it. And it's like one of those things, if I wanted to sell out and suck dick, I'd just make videos like that. But I'm hard-headed, you know. I want to be famous for if I'm gonna be famous for doing shit like this, just being savage and speaking my mind. But I'd take my Bill Burr action figure and I'd probably pose him and then have him do a Bill Burr stand up or a Thursday, Monday morning, Friday afternoon, Saturday podcast. That's what I will do with my Bill Burr action figure. And I promise you guys, as soon as this fucking shit comes out from the Black series, I will have my Bill Burr action figure. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. All right. One more thing, and then I'll jump off your jock. I actually considered making this a proper video. But it's this Darth Vader Marvel comic run that started in 2021. Now, in 2015, Darth Vader had a very, very good comic run written by Charles Soule. And when he's writing Vader, I think Charles Soule is pretty good. He's written some X-Men, like he wrote a pretty good Wolverine run. I think he's doing a novel in the Star Wars genre. And I think he's even getting into like TV and script writing. But this one was written by Gregory Pack. The first 5, 6, maybe 7 issues of Darth Vader was good. I guess it started in 2020, not 2021. I remember that because it started in 2020 and then COVID happened and then it didn't come out for a long fucking time. But what happens is in this comic run, Darth Vader, it starts right after The Empire Strikes Back when he's like, "Come with me, it is the only way." And Luke just looks at him and falls, and Darth Vader lets him fall. He doesn't use a force, and I don't know. I try to reconcile that in my brain. Maybe, if you won't be turned, you'll be destroyed, kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe Darth Vader didn't know what to do with his feelings, so he wouldn't just hold him in the air with the force. He let him fall. So Darth Vader's going, "Holy shit, I have a son." He tries to figure out what the fuck. So he goes to Naboo and he finds one of Padme's royal guard. And I think this is Sabe in the actual comic. Now, Sabe, if you remember from the Phantom Menace episode 1, they go before Boss Nass, right? They go that guy. And she goes, "Your Highness, we come here under grave circumstances." And she's a decoy, right? That's who's in this Vader comic. That decoy, they all swore like this butt pact. And so like her and Captain Tycho, the black dude who's, I guess he wears an eye patch. He's the Nick Fury of Naboo. All these fuckers, they have formed a pact to protect the legacy and find the killer of Padme Amidala, because according to the galaxy, she died pregnant. She never gave birth to a child. We, the audience, know that she did in fact give birth to the children, the twins, Luke and Leia, but that her appearance was altered to make her still appear pregnant, to protect her from Vader and from Sidious, right? Now, Sidious told Vader that he had actually killed Padme. So Vader's walking around with this mark on his soul. He believes that he has killed his wife and his child. And when he discovers Luke is his son, suddenly all the shit that Vader believed for 20 years is exposed as a lie. So he goes to Naboo. He runs around with Sabe, and he ends up destroying the tomb of Padme Amidala. And as soon as he's done doing that, he goes back to Palpatine And the scene in isolation is badass. Palpatine uses the Force and completely fucks up Darth Vader. So like his cybernetic arms and legs are fucked. He gets blasted with Force lightning, and Sidious takes Vader to Mustafar and leaves him on the shores of the lava that he originally burned at. And he goes, clearly you're butthurt about Padme again, so you need to climb your way out of this fucking thing. You're not allowed to use a Force, and if you do, then I'm gonna know, and I'm gonna come back and fuck you up. And Vader's like, but he fucking survives. And that moment is exactly when this comic stops being cool and starts becoming Disney trying to make the sequel trilogy make sense. And this is what fucking bothers me, because Darth Vader deserves better than this. Okay? Darth Vader goes to Mustafar, and the first thing that happens is that Palpatine has dispatched a bounty hunter named Ochi of Bestoon. Now, if you remember from the Rise of Skyfucker, Rey goes to planet fucking every 40 years celebration where she gets like the puka shell necklace or whatever that Kylo Ren rips through the Force off her fucking neck, and he looks at it and he goes, oh, she's on fucking Butthole 7 or whatever the fuck the name of the planet is. She finds what was that? The Sith dagger. They find a spaceship that belonged to this guy that Palpatine sent after Vader, and his name is Ochi of Bestoon. Why does every character and planet name they made up in the sequel trilogy fucking suck butt? It doesn't have the same ring to it. George Lucas made up some funny sounding names, and some of those names were really stupid. I'll give you that. But not the kind of stupid that we get from Disney Lucasfilm. Ochi of Bestoon. Like, I want to find out where the fuck Bestoon is. And there's only one Ochi from Bestoon. Or either that, if there's not only one Ochi of Bestoon, he somehow distinguished himself out of all the other Ochis to become Ochi of Bestoon. So whatever, he kills everyone on Bestoon, or he outclasses them. So he thinks he can go and beat up Darth Vader. And Palpatine's like, oh, but he can't use the Force this time. Kill him. Kill him now. And Ochi's like, okay. So Vader climbs his way back into the separatist hideout, and he puts himself back together using droid parts. He reprograms a mouse droid to bring him new arms and new legs. He's still not using the Force, but he has his lightsaber, right? So he's walking around, and Ochi's trying to kill him. And then if you look in this Darth Vader number 8, he goes and meets the Eye of Webbish Bog, which is I believe it was concept art from Colin Trevorrow, which I wish they would have used his ideas a little bit more. But again, they're desperately trying to say, see, well, Darth Vader went there, so if Darth Vader did it, then all our stupid ideas are canon, and Darth Vader, so yeah. And basically, so he kicks Ochi of Bestoon's ass. He doesn't kill him quite yet, because obviously Ochi of Bestoon doesn't die here on Mustafar. He dies on planet Puka Shell Necklace, and whatever the fuck. But he gets the Wayfinder from the Eye of Webbish Bog, and he tells Ochi to tell him how to fucking plug it up to his ship. And he flies to Exegol. And what does he find on Exegol? He finds Snoke in a jar. Vader's walking around, and he finds the fleet of Star Destroyers that have the Death Star tech already built into them. And this is between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So Darth Vader in between has seen the fleet at Exegol. And I think that what the comic book writers and what the penheads at Disney Lucasfilm were trying to do is give weight to that statement that Vader made on the bridge uh, to the AT Walker to Luke, where he says, "You don't know the power of the dark side. I must obey my master." That's what this comic is trying to illustrate. Palpatine kicks his ass, and then he goes to Exegol and he sees Snoke in a jar and all these Death Star fucking Star Destroyers. So he's like, "Oh, there's no way I can't possibly beat this guy. I have to be his lapdog the rest of my unnatural life," which I think is fucked up and lazy. Those are bad stories to begin with, and using Darth Vader like this to tell your bad story, it's an insult to the Dark Lord of the Sith. Fuck you, Disney, for doing that. Darth Vader does not deserve that. And they don't even really have a great ending to this story arc. It's just Vader going, "Yes, master." And then it goes into this fucking, you know, Clash of the Bounty Hunters or whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. Pisses me off, right? It looks like it's pissing off Taylor too. What's going on, buddy? Darth Vader would be like, "What the hell is this shit? I take my lightsaber and destroy this fucking garbage." Yeah. I actually want Vader to go to Disney Lucasfilm and go around the table of creatives, just like in the original Death Star, and just fucking kill them all. All he'd have to do is boomerang his saber, just take off everyone's head. Really quite simple. But see, and that's another plot hole right there. So if Darth Vader has been to Exegol and he's seen what Palpatine has there, and he's like, "Oh, I can't possibly go up against my master," whatever. What's to stop him from doing that behind his back? All he'd have to do is steal one ship. Each ship there is equipped with Death Star tech. And Palpatine's out there trying to make this big show of Death Star The Revenge, Death Star the sequel, when he has like an armada of planet-killing ships. Bullshit. All Vader would have to do is steal one ship and go and blow up Palpatine, and then he's the Emperor of the universe. But then, like, there's like 900 more ships that can do the same shit. So what's the fucking point? There is no plot point. The only real point is that Disney had no plan. So they're using Darth Vader to as a plunger. They're using Darth Vader as a plunger. The shit that Disney has shat down the toilet and called Star Wars has clogged up the works, and now they're using Darth Vader as a plunger. Fuck you, Disney. All right, you guys. Lift high, whatever it is you're drinking. Keep on staying savage, and we'll talk to you